Well, Neil, a frustrating afternoon, I'm sure, for you this afternoon. Well, not just for you, but probably for your strikers as well.
I think so. I mean, we've had the majority of the game. I think Worcester have come to do what they've done, come away with a point and trying it from a set piece. But we've got to do that a little bit more. Plenty of endeavour. We've defended well. They've created very little, apart from, as I say, long punts. But we've got to go. I've just said to them in there. They've got to. Somebody's got to go and do that little bit more. Someone's got to go and be that little bit more creative, step up to the plate. Just doing enough is not enough. You've seen, thought we had some decent balls have gone in the box, but we took the wrong decision far too many times. Got to give credit to Worcester. They've come and got what they want. But I just said to the lads, that's going to happen all the time here. Clubs are going to come and frustrate us, try and get the fans on our backs. To be fair to the supporters, they never. We stuck behind the team. But I've just said to them, they've got to demand more off each other. We've got a good squad of players, but we've defended well. But you've got to go and do that little bit more. Just doing enough's not enough at a club this size, with the expectation and how clubs are going to set up against it. Just to go, just to go through the game and just dominate your man for 90 minutes. You've got to go and be that little bit extra, bit special. What
was the problem? Final ball, decision making, poor finishing, combination of all of that?
I just think it was the lack of urgency to want to go and get in those positions to score your goals. Too many taking the easy option. First half in particular, thought we knocked it round really well. But when lads could have got 2v1s in wide areas, we decided to go narrow. So we're crossing balls from 20 yards out across the front of their back four, and they're going to be happy with that all day, But I just think we're always waiting for a spark. A 20-yard volley or something to get us going. That shouldn't be needed with the players we've got in our dressing room. They've got to go and give us more, and go and be that little bit special and get us a goal.
Strange incident at the death there with Lamin Colley, red carded for raising his hands to an opponent. Yeah. Pretty indefensible, really, wasn't it?
Indefensible, yeah. I've just basically told him in there. Apart from that, our discipline today was fantastic. But you can't excuse that. Player goes on and we're trying to win a game of football. Lads manhandling him, and he pushes him to the floor. I think from where I was, not acceptable, and I'll deal with it internally. But I've said in there to them, our discipline throughout the game has been fantastic. Last week it was fantastic, but again, somebody has to go and spoil that.
On the positive side, defensively, you look so solid today. I mean, Worcester haven't had a shot on target in 90 minutes. Danny Hurst probably should have paid for a ticket today, really. And you've got to put that down, I think, to really solid performances at centre-half.
Two centre-backs were fantastic, Connolly and Thornley. And if you look as well, they were up against two lads who are probably a foot bigger than them, in terms of size, but experience has got them through. I thought Paul's done really well. Jordan... left out Monday for with fatigue than looking his fatigue. But today, had a little spell for 10 minutes. But in the main, he went and he headed everything. For an 18-year-old boy. But they've done their bit. We've got to go and do a bit more higher up the pitch, and people have got to go and create more when teams. It's not easy. Even at the highest level, you see Chelsea can't break teams down lower, and so it's not an easy thing to do. I know it sounds easy. Stockport should be beating Worcester, etc., etc. But it's not an easy thing to do when clubs just come and basically say, well, come and break us down. But it's not that we drew 0-0. The bit for me is too many times I've seen people taking the easy option and not wanting to go and make a difference. That's the thing. If it was 0-0 and those things happened and we were just unlucky, but I just seen things in there what I call ducking and diving, and we can't be doing that. We've got to be on the front foot, and people have got to want to go and make a difference, because the performance was a good performance. No real end product, but we passed it well. We moved, as you say. They never created a great deal. Discipline was very good, but we just didn't have any real oomph in the final third, and that's just not the forwards. That's from all areas.
You were without your captain today, Sean. I understand you've got a problem with his back. It's not too long term though, hopefully.
No, we should have him back next week. We're down to the 16th. That's all we had.
Yeah.
Everyone else was, injured. So, but we've got a good enough squad. That's hence the reason why we've got the squad we've got. People get opportunities, and they've got to go and make a difference, but disappointing that we haven't won the game. But you've got to give credit to the away team that they've come in and got what they came for, effectively, and that will happen here, and it'll happen again next week and the week after. We've got to go and figure out a way, and people have got to go and want to make a difference.
On the positives, it's a strange league, this one. You're still fourth. You're now just a point off second. You've got a home game against Brackley next weekend, and your goalkeeper's available. That was a good appeal that you made there.
Yeah, it was definitely. It's. I think there's a thing going around that people believe that if a goalkeeper handles the ball outside the box, that it's a red card, irrespective of what happens. Which is obviously not the case, and I don't know what the referee has perceived, because he's also had an opportunity to see the incident after it, but he's made the decision for whatever he's thought, and the powers that be have agreed with what I thought when I watched it. I wouldn't have made a frivolous appeal, but it wasn't a clear goal scoring opportunity, as the law says. But yeah, he's available, and that's good. It shows the process as well. To be fair to the FA and the referee, works. You know what I mean? People could be negative and say, "Oh, you're here all the time. You never win an appeal, pointless appealing." But if it's clear, black and white, then but I won't be appealing the one today.
No. And just finally, it must be strange being a manager. You go from the highs of that game on Bank Holiday Monday, free flowing football, taking your chances, peppering the goal, and then today, just a bit flat.
But I don't think it's a case of that. I think it's just a case of it's football, and every game's different, and every game's tactically different, and that's why everybody loves the game so much. If you look at Fire last week, they're at home. They like free-flowing football. They like to come out, and to be fair to Worcester, they've obviously had us watch last week, and they know if they come out, then we're possibly going to pick them off. And they're not going to come here and lie down, are they? They're not going to come here and be lamb to the slaughter and say, okay, then yeah, we know you're a good side. Well, come and beat us 4-5. They're not going to do that. They've set their team up. Don't forget they've had a beating last week 4-1 in a fairly local game. They've got pride like everyone else, and I think I've said it last week. Every time I've played against Carl's teams, they've been hard to break down. They're difficult to break down, and Brackley will be exactly the same next week. They will set up not to get beat. Away at home, they'll have a go at you, but away from home, John will have them well drilled. They'll sit in and try and hit you on the counter attack or from a set piece, and that's what you get. There's good managers in this league who are tactically very astute, and particularly when they come to places like this, they know we've got good players. They know we've had a half decent start, and we've got to work a way out of overriding that. But the main thing out of that is people have got to want to go and make that little bit of a difference. As I said, can't fault the effort, the commitments. The football was good, but you've got to go and make the players we've got at this club, and while they're at this football club, I've got to go and be that little bit extra, and I've got to go and make that little bit of a difference. And those players win your games and ultimately can win your leagues or make you challenge your leagues. But going up and down and just dominating your man is not, particularly at home, is not going to be enough. And as I say, the effort, commitment, fine. But we've got to be a little bit more.
That's great. Well said. Thank you.
Thank you.